Hey Robert, how you doing, man? I just stumbled upon on this post, and I saw that you mentioned Automatio, which is really make me happy to see. Um, Actually, Automatio is not browser-based uh, tool. You're just using a Chrome extension in this case to build a bot, but whole automation is happening on the server, on the cloud. So the browser extension is just to create this bot, and the whole automation is happening on the server side. So you can close your browser, you can close your computer and go do whatever you want. The automation will happen from the server. So this is a big deal. But it's also helped me to realize that not everybody understand that Automatio is a uh, cloud tool, and that we are using the Chrome extension just to build a bot. Anyway, I try to understand your needs here. And I went to this website. Seems I need to log in or something, so I couldn't be there. But anyway, to answer your question, Automatio is not directly connected to Zapier or Integromat, but it's connected to the Google Sheets. And once you have a data into Google Sheets, you can use it to put it to connect with Zapier, and then from the Zapier you can connect to wherever you want, right? So let me give you very simple example of maybe or similar example how you can utilize Automatio. So this is the website of from my country where I like to monitor or to find a new bicycle. I want to buy a new bicycle. So basically, what I'm doing here, of course, as you can see, I'm logged in here as a send rate hero. So anyway, I'm gonna use Automatio extension, and what I can do. So first of all, you said over here, I know a bit of AP5, but the login automation is beyond me. So you don't wanna use low code tools. I totally understand. I don't like to write a single line of code as well because I'm not a programmer myself and developer. And you wanna, so that means that you wanna log into some website, right? So look how easy you can log in with Automatio. Of course, there's a two ways. The standard way is to go and fill the email and password and click login button with Automatio. And Automatio can do that with the input action, click action, so on. But there's easy way, and the easier way is just using this preserve cookies feature and just click import cookies. Once you do that, basically Automatio will use your cookies just from this website. And when the automation start, this website will think that it's actually you. So let me show you. So I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna use some wait action and create another action, which should be actually a screenshot just to show you that it's gonna show my name. So let me create and run this instance very quickly. As you can see, create and running the instance. So when I run this instance, I go to the dashboard. As you can see, this is actually develop server. So for testing purposes, we are running here a lot of new features. So anyway, if I open this in the dashboard, I can see this instance is running, it's finished. So if I go to the logs, I can see what's actually happened. So this whole automation didn't happen from my browser at all. It happened from the cloud server. That is important thing to know. So as you can see in the logs, it's launching the browser, it's navigating to this URL, it's waiting, it's capturing the screenshot and closing. So if I go to a screenshot, I can see over here, or you can see that this is my username and profile picture. So that means I'm logged in. So this is the screenshot which Automatio took from the server side when he basically opened the browser, navigated to that URL, and that's the screenshot he takes. So basically, it means that I'm logged in. So now I'm in. I can do the stuff like I would do normally as a user, logged in user. So what you want to do in your example, you want to collect some URLs. So there's a, like, I don't want to make these videos too long, but and I'm gonna speak a little bit faster just to save on the time. But if you want to get into more details, you can reach me. I can try to help you solve the problem. So first of all, you said that you have some kind of dynamic list of URLs, whatever it is. Automatio have different ways to deal with this. You can dynamically pull a data and the URL to go um, by different ways. So for example, right now we are statically going on single URL like this, and it's going to go to this. But if there is a list of URLs which I want to go, I can use this data type and change to the dynamic. And there is a source, there's an instance source, there's a list source, a Google Sheet, three main sources. What is the instance? The instance is everything we scraped before, all the bots we created before. So if there's some data which we can use from any of these instances, we can call it and dynamically go to this. So basically, if let's say instance, I can select any of these instance, for example, camel categories, let's say. So if I go to this, I can get the profile URL. So it's going to go to every profile URL and do the rest of the actions or interaction or automations I created over here. But that's one case. Another case that you can actually do create a list. And there is a list here. There is a list which you can create a new list by just typing something. This is a list. You can paste a bunch of URLs, or you can just drop your CSV file over here if you want, or even better, you can import from the Google Sheet. I'm already authenticated, so you can just select the Google Sheet. You select the Sheet tab, or even the column, and you can just import that. So there's a different ways where you can dynamically import this data. So and yeah, and the third way is directly from the Google Sheet. So if you have a Google Sheet with the list, the URLs list, you can use it. So Automatio will basically go, if you have 100 URLs in the Google Sheet, you will select it from here, which Google Sheet, what column, la la la. And if you have 100 of them, Automatio will go one by one and do all the action for each of these. So for example, let me see if I have actually some URLs of this website if I scraped it in before. So I want to be dynamic. I want to get the instance from exactly. I want to get, I guess I have something. Let's see. Not sure. I didn't rename properly if this is a URL or not. Let me just very quickly see MTB bicycles. Let me just this property tree is a link. Yes, this is the link. So basically, I'm gonna use this and show you right now. So this is a link. The property tree is a list of the links from the previous instance I created yesterday. And as you can see, this is all the URLs going to this post. So what I can do now is I'm gonna tell Automatio, okay, use the cookies, go to each of these link and do something. Do something like take the screenshot. So let me just see if I go, for example, over here. I can tell to Automatio, hey Automatio, get me this. You want to get some URL. Let's use your example. So as you can see here, I want to get this URL of this guy, so I can see all the ads from this seller. So this thing over here have the URL. So I'm gonna say seller URL, and since this is a text by default, if I go to the preview, I can see the text. I want to have this as a link. So I'm going to get the link. So this is kind of the link I want to get, for example. So let's say this is the automation I want to do. Of course, I can extract any of this data I want over here, but for the simplicity of this video, let's just get this URL, which something is your case. You want to get some URL behind some anchor text, right? So let's see what's going to happen over here. Basically, I can rename this instance and just say level one instance. I'm just renaming just for my purpose, level one for the Robert. All right. So let's create and run as a new instance. So I can update the old instance I created, but whatever, I can update and run. Let's update and run actually the previous create. So here is it, updating and running. And as you can see, there is a 96 URL. So this is a basically dynamic instance, dynamic linking instance. It's going to go to this URL and it's going to do those automations. So it's going to this URL, it's waiting, it's capturing the screenshot, and it's gonna extract the data. So let's see. One data. I got the link, seller URL link. This is what the link we want, right? So if I go to the screenshots over here, I can see, okay, this is the first post. So now Automatio gonna change and go to the another post. As you can see, boom, it changed it. And it's gonna collect from another post and so on and so on. So again, all this is happening through from the browser, from the cloud server actually, but the browser inside, yeah, of course, but not from my browser, not from my computer. I can close down everything. It's going to continue working until it's done. So what we can do now, you have a data and now you want to use this data and integrate with other tools. That's your another kind of milestone out there, right? So very simply, we have this Google Sheet, native Google Sheet integration in just couple clicks. Like no need to write any kind of scripts in Google Sheets API and those even we have the API over here with automating, but you're no coder, right? You don't even want to use a low code thing. So that's why we build this Google Sheet integration. So basically, of course, you can download this CSV and you can just get, but you want everything to work automatically and seamlessly. So let's use a Google Sheet. And as you can see, I'm already authorized it with my Google account. And what I can do, I can even either choose already created a Google Sheet, which I created before, or and select. I mean, it's a bit slower on this server because this is a developed server when it's loading the Google Sheets. But as you can see, you can choose any of these Google Sheets, and then you can choose, the sheet tab and so on. But anyway, I gonna create a new sheet, and that's all. We're just gonna create a new sheet, and of course, I'm gonna use this real time feature. So every time the data row is updated from Automatio, it's gonna update into the Google Sheet out there. So again, this is a development server which is a bit slow, and it's creating this Google Sheet for a while. But yeah, we have a Google Sheet, so I'm gonna just open this Google Sheet into a new tab, and you will see there this data. Let's see. Yes, as you can see, the new data is here, and soon Automatio will populate the new row in the real time, and you will see it over here. Still loading, so I'm recording this, and that's why it's a little bit slower. But let's see. It's up, a new link. Do you see that? Yeah. So basically, now what you can do very simply, you just go to the Zapier Integromat and say, hey, from the Google Sheet, when the new row is updated, do whatever you want. And that's all you need to do. So this is Automatio basically. I think it should fulfill your needs out there. I'm not exactly sure what do you need to do there, but definitely it it can be helpful to you. Not sure exactly what's your their requirements, but let's connect. Let's talk. You might test this tool. Yeah. What else? Let me just see if there's something else to show you or answer on this. I think basically that's it. So once we don't have a native integration with Zapier yet, Integromat, even it's in our roadmap. But once you have the data into Google Sheet, you can connect with Zapier, Integromat, and then you can do whatever you want out there. So it's really powerful right now with this Google Sheet export. Once again, you can import data from Google Sheets or from the list or from another instance, and then you can export to Google Sheet, and then you can create a really crazy automated scenarios and bots. Yeah, hopefully this was helpful and not too long for you. Peace, man.